How's it going? I'm Ryan, and today I'm going to go over the two trades that I took on QQQ. First trade was a loss. The second trade was a small win. Overall, small red day for me today, but we kept it manageable, and it was a bit of a trickier day to trade in the morning. So we'll take a look at those trades in just a second. A few of the levels that we were watching, we have this 426.14. We had the pre-market high at 426.7 or so. We also have this level at 423.8 or so, and as well as really close by as yesterday's low. Take a look at the 1 hour here. So one thing that I was watching was the support that we had from the previous couple days. We broke that more so in the after hours. You can see we kind of bounced from there and held it into the close, but we have had a serious drop after we broke that support down to this level down here, 421. So I guess context for this morning. Yesterday we had a huge run up. After hours pre-market kind of sold off, and we were pulling back towards this 426.14, and then we had the pre-market low there. So start the morning, we had pretty minimal price action in here. We had news at 8 that caused this reaction here, where we closed slightly below that pre-market low, but for the next 30 minutes or so, we're kind of holding on to that pre-market low. We were seeing some really long wicks on the bottom. We were seeing us close above that pre-market low, and it looked like some buyers were present in this area. We started to form this consolidation with this upper resistance and support to the bottom. And the first trade that I took was when we broke out and came down and retested. I grabbed one call on the retest of this trend line. I grabbed another call on the retest of the pre-market low. You can see here that this was a losing trade. This is my first trade of the day. I cut my position when we broke 426.6. We can take a look at the 2-minute here as well. So I entered one position here. I entered one position here. All things were looking like we could go higher. I did have this little area mapped out here because it was a zone that we were holding as support all morning until we broke on news, and we were coming up to retest that. So I did draw this out, extend that out, and that was kind of the one point of resistance I saw above us until we could hit high of day and then potentially high of yesterday. So my target was high of day and then leave a runner to see if we run any higher. That did not happen. Like I said, grabbed one contract after we had closed the 5-minute candle above, breaking out, confirming the breakout of this. Grabbed one contract on the retest and one on the pre-market low retest. Was in a little bit of profit when we were pushing up in here. Obviously didn't take that. Set my break right here, or my stop, excuse me. I set my stop here, and this is what stopped me out. Reason why is just that we had kind of this little box in here where we had seen some resistance, broke above it, seen some support. So once we didn't stop in that area and started to break lower, that's when I got out. Overall, not a huge loss because I scaled into this. Had I took my full position at this retest, that would have been a bigger loss. But this contract I grabbed here was a really small loss by the time I cut it. This one was a bit bigger. So overall, a manageable loss on the day. That was my first trade of the day. Like I said, my target was high of day, this like 427.6 area where we had rejected, and that's what I was targeting there for my initial take profit. I took 427 calls, so I was trying to grab them right in the money, or excuse me, right at the money, out of the money, and have those go into the money and see if I could have a pretty good move there. But we got faked out. You know, we had a lot of these long wicks. We had high volume on this breakout. Things look good. Sometimes setups don't work very well. And here this resistance stopped us. So this area that we, you know, I was watching it, I was aware of it. And we tested it 3 times and couldn't break through. So that was the first trade. The second and final trade that I took were some puts. Excuse me. We will go back to the 5-minute and I'll put on the EMA because take a look at that. So another reason I took this trade is you can see we broke below that EMA and we're failing to close above it. But we had this higher volume here, massive green hammer candle, and then got the breakout of that and the break and close above the EMA. So all things I thought were looking pretty good. We do have that 5-minute wick off that zone, but I was expecting a pullback anyways before I was going to enter, so that didn't really bother me there. So that's kind of everything I was looking at for that trade. It just didn't work out. I thought that we would, you know, have the potential to get a really nice move, especially it looked like there was a lot of buyers in here keeping us afloat at that pre-market low. I thought maybe we could get a run like we did yesterday, but not quite. So the second trade that I took were puts right here on the retest of the broken pre-market low. So that's the level that we held. And then similarly, you know, to here where we held this level, broke it, retested and rejected. We had held this level right in here, broke it, came up to retest as well as we had that 9 EMA there. And so I took some puts. I took 2 contracts. I trimmed one on this once we got down in here. Reason being is because we had bounced from this area multiple times. We had bounced once, 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess you can count this. So once we pushed down into this zone, I took 1 contract and then set my runner to break even. I got stopped out on this push up. So once we pushed back up, kind of retested that pre-market high again, or excuse me, pre-market low again. I got stopped out of my runner at break even there. So had a small win and got back some of that initial loss that we had. Those are the only 2 trades I took on the day. We kind of had it, I mean, as you can see, it was a bit choppy this morning. It was a bit rangy. You know, we had this tight range here, broke out, had this range here, kind of broke out, then we were ranging in here forever. Eventually we got that rejection off the pre-market low. You know, I was, after seeing this aggressive sell-off here, come up, retest, aggressive sell-off, come up, retest this level that we had held. I was expecting a bit more of a move down, similar to maybe what we see here. We didn't quite get that. It took some time for that to play out. So that was what I was hoping for when I grabbed the puts here. But obviously that move happened a little later in the day. This bottom trend line is the one that I had from the hourly. You can see that we kind of bounced around, kind of broke it, reclaimed it, broke it, reclaimed it, and didn't really definitively break below until the after hours. And you see once we broke that, we really dropped multiple dollars from there. I mean, almost $4. That's insane. So big drop after that break of support. Should set us up for an interesting day tomorrow. That's all I have for you. Thank you for watching. I do trade live every Monday through Friday, so stop by the stream if you'd like. We'd love to have you. And that's all I got. Thank you. Have a great day. Peace.